Fighting in both Syria and Libya is intensifying tonight. Chief Washington correspondent James Rosen tells us a common theme is the growing aggression from extremists.
Syrian President Bashar al-Assad marked the end of Ramadan at a mosque in Damascus. After months of airstrikes, Assad's forces stand poised to retake Aleppo in the north, an event that would deprive those Syrian rebels that the U.S. supports of their last major enclave. At the same time, Assad's forces have suffered 1,200 casualties in 10 days, losses inflicted by the savage and well-financed jihadist army that now controls eastern Syria and much of neighboring Iraq, known as ISIS.
So it's bad news for Assad all around and bad news for the United States in that the moderates are losing and ISIS is winning.
U.S. aid to the so-called vetted moderate Syrian rebels, those battling Assad and ISIS, has been piecemeal.
The president will now extend food and medical supplies to the opposition.
I will work with Congress to ramp up support for those in the Syrian opposition.
And the rebels have long complained of spotty delivery. Many on Capitol Hill fault the Obama administration for doing too little too late in Syria.
After 3 years of not effectively getting engaged in a major way, the clock begins to run out and things happen on the ground.
The right time to train and equip the moderate Syrian opposition was well over a year ago.
A former aide to Secretary of State Clinton rejects such criticism as Monday morning quarterbacking.
The truth is that there was no one sensitive moment in the conflict in Syria where if only the U.S. government had a slightly different policy or even an extremely different policy, the outcome would have been different.
In Libya, where U.S. military personnel helped evacuate the American embassy over the weekend, crossfire between warring militias engulfed an oil depot near the capital airport, leading many to worry that the U.S. and NATO ousted Muammar Gaddafi only to create a terrorist safe haven like that which exists in Syria.
The international community knows, not just the United States, that these transitions take time, and we're going to continue to work at it.
In a sign of how difficult it will be to advance U.S. interests in Libya, where militias operate unchecked by any central government authority, the shuttered U.S. embassy is presently being held secure by a local guard force of the kind that typically staffs the militias. Brett?